Hello, welcome to your spring season forecast videos for the vernal equinox beginning March 20th through June 21st, 2019. Of course, if you're watching this below the equator, then happy fall. I am recording this from Los Angeles, so I am in the northern hemisphere, but either way, the equinox signifies the time of year where the seasons shift to equal day and equal night. On a personal level, we are beginning to balance the winter's darkness of hibernation with the summer's vibrant light of activity. You may begin to sense on a deeper level some anticipation for upcoming changes at this time. So for these forecast videos, I will be drawing from the Hanson-Roberts Tarot, the Archangel Power Oracle cards, the Healing with the Angels Oracle cards, and finally the Secret Language of color cards and the dream cards, which I used in the yearly prediction videos. Also, because I feel like it, I will be reading reversals with the tarot for this particular video. I am also open to suggestions on reading from other decks. So if there's a particular one that you want me to read from that I have, feel free to make suggestions. I welcome your comments. So if there's anything you want more of, let me know. I'm a little bit reticent recording this during the retrograde, but let's just see how this goes. Hopefully everything will go smoothly. So anyway, keep in mind that these are general forecasts based on your sun, moon, or ascendant. So if you need more of a personalized reading with me, feel free to book a reading through my website, SunGoddessAshley.com, where you can also see the other services that I offer. The link to my site is posted in the description box below. Okay, so let's get started with your readings. Capricorn, let's see what spring has in store for you. These two cards came out. Okay, the Four of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So I'm going to put them back in. If they end up coming out again, we'll take a look at it. I just wanted to show you. Okay. Capricorn for spring. I'm going to be doing the Celtic cross spread to get an overall picture. Just the general vibe here. Okay. I feel like it needs to do this one more time. There we go. There we go. It's showing an unexpected return. It's like something you were not prepared for, something from the past returning. It's like a relationship. Looks like here's final outcome. Well, it may be wanted, it may not be wanted. It looks like you were not in contact with this person. I don't feel like it necessarily has to be like, you know, a face-to-face meeting, like they just show up, but it looks like you hear from somebody from the past. You hearing from someone from the past sort of makes you overthink things. It triggers you in some way because it shows the moon card shows heightened sensitivities and emotions in the past. And this is like the quieting of the energy. So I feel like you were not in contact, saying not in contact with this person. They contact you. It's like you weren't prepared for it. It's definitely someone you knew. Here's the return. You overthink things, and I feel like that's what those two cards that dropped out in the beginning were talking about, the Knight of Swords and then the Four of Swords, which is like going from peace of mind to like being triggered. I do get the Lover's card here in the future. I don't feel like it's gonna last. It's not saying it's like a long-term thing, but it sort of stirs things up for you emotionally. So again, it may or may not be wanted. Maybe this is someone you were pining for and they exited your life, you haven't heard from them, and all of a sudden they come back and you're like have all these feelings coming back. Or maybe it was someone that you didn't get along with, or just you're kind of moved on from and thought you had moved on from them. When you hear from them again, it's saying either way it stirs up emotions, and that's not really usually like you. It's like you normally have pretty like steady, even keeled emotions. You have like self-control over your feelings basically. But when I see this, it just looks like something comes in, it feels a bit intense, and you're like, oh my gosh, and you kind of have to deal with all of that. So it brings things up to the surface. Here, the Judgment card is saying brings things up to the surface that you didn't know that you had to sort of clear. That's fine. Triggers can be a good thing. It shows us what we still need to heal. But I feel like if it's not an old flame, which I do feel like it is, but for some of you it might not be, it's saying whatever comes up that it's unexpected, doesn't have to be you hearing from an ex or whatever. It just looks like you're going to be working through some things from the past to like fully clear it. And it's saying don't overanalyze it, because it's like showing you sort of clearing something away, clearing away the debris so that you can actually get to that point of like being in a relationship, or if you are in a relationship, then you know, further bonding together with more intimacy within your union. So it kind of does look like this, you might be really surprised with what this person says to you. It looks like they had some sort of understanding or epiphany, and maybe a part of you is like a little too late. Another part of you is like appreciates it, but you're like, I'm still gonna distance myself. And then maybe there's another element here of like, really you had wanted to hear something of what they were gonna say to you. It's like you hear it, and then you weren't expecting to be this like riled up about it. So that's kind of like the general thing of what I'm seeing here. It's not really talking about work. I don't see any pentacles here. It talks about like you being unprepared for something. That's what the 9 of Rods reversed is all about. But because you have your defenses down, this talks about you being able to process things better than if you were sort of defensive and on guard about something. It's like you wouldn't really fully experience what you needed to in order to clear it. So it's actually a blessing in disguise. That's what I'm seeing here. And it feels like it's a transiting sort of energy, since you have the Ace of Wands, which is like something happens that's very intense and then it sort of burns down. So let's see what the Oracle cards then have to say about this. So this was sort of my interpretation of what I'm seeing here for you, Capricorn. But I also want to draw Oracle cards that will talk about each month of spring. So we're kind of closing out March. So I'm still going to pull a card for March, April, May, and then June, the first 3 weeks of June up until the summer solstice. So let's see what the cards show you. Capricorn. March, April, May, June. Well, it feels like it happens around like the love. Okay, so the King of Wands. Okay, so maybe you hear from the King of Wands, or maybe you are the King of Wands. Either way. The qualities of the King of Wands upright are generous, inspirational, dramatic, and driven. Okay. This says, keep your eyes on the big picture, leave the details to others, experience that leads to success, genuine concerns for others. Okay, so when I say it's upright, those are the positive qualities. The negative qualities of the King of Wands could be a little bit pushy, too assertive, or impulsive in some way, or just didn't want to settle down. Okay, so I see you as being like the Queen of Pentacles, actually. Or maybe your partner was the Queen of Pentacles, but I feel like for most of you, you're going to be the Queen of Pentacles. You're the Earth sign, right? Capricorn, who is mature, practical, generous, and happy, right? Generally content. I feel like this is like having like a good attitude about things that it's like that goes south, that maybe other signs aren't able to really kind of take things in stride. I feel like that's a gift that you have. So the card says, nurture yourself and those you love, the ability to make anything more beautiful, practical, and wise advice. So this is the card here for you for March. April, it talks about divine guidance, which is the Hierophant card in the tarot. And it says, the search for meaning in life, consider an alternative approach, surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. Okay, so far it feels like very mature. It feels very wise, very mature. We get to here, we get to the Lover's card, which is this in the near future. It says, make choices from the heart, deeply emotional commitments, the power of love. Now, the Lovers card can be about choices. So it's like, how do you choose to respond? How do you choose to react? Do you overthink things? Do you get emotional? Do you get angry? Do you let things go and just like whatever? It's asking you, like, how do you respond? It's up to you, really. People's true characters can really be seen when they're sort of put on the spot, right? So just keep that in mind, that your good character may sort of shine, and you'll come out of a difficult situation like having risen to the top because of the character here. So it does talk about in June, you don't need to go through your current situation or challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies, so you're going to have to kind of watch out for that. Maybe not all of you, but it says like there could be some uncertainty here. Okay, so I want to draw a card from the Healing Angels deck for you, Capricorn, for spring. Talks about balance. Okay. If you get knocked off balance, it's like you have the ability to correct that. You have the ability to right that, to recalibrate. Okay. I really feel like the person that you hear from is like wanting to make things right for you, but some of you have maybe already moved on, but it's like they're trying to sort of bring things back into balance, make it right, right? Okay. I don't feel like this person's going to stay in your life, though. Based on what I see here. Okay. So I'm pulling a color card for you for spring. Cyan. Build your confidence. I feel like generally, Capricorn, it says you're like a pretty stable like sign. I feel like you do generally have confidence. Something may knock you off balance where it's like you're sort of triggered and you're kind of wavering here. So saying bring things back into balance. You're confident, you're capable. Don't forget those things. Okay. Let's see what else comes up here for Capricorns. This is like the final sort of closing message from the Dreams card, the dream cards. Liberated. I know I can rise above restraint and feel free. Okay. Okay, so this was your spring 2019 forecast readings. I will see you in the upcoming summer forecast videos. If you liked it, leave a like. If you like my content, please subscribe. Sending you blessings for spring. Take care and be well.